Hey guys, it's Lauren. I just want to make a how-to video on how to make the I love you hands. Hopefully your outcome will look something like this. First, you want to start with wax paper. Put wax paper down because honestly, this clay, it sticks to everything except wax paper. And if it does, it's going to ruin the way that your hand looks. It's going to start peeling off in awkward places, and then you end up with a lot more work than you wanted to. I use Crayola air dry clay. It's cheap and it works. The other kind is very expensive. Yes, maybe it comes in cool different colors or whatever, but you're going to pay $15 for a little square of it when you pay $10 for a whole tub that probably makes 100 hands easily. So, I get these little sticks from Starbucks and I carve my outline. I roll my clay up, flatten it out on my paper. Don't want it too flat though, you want to leave it with a certain thickness so that the hands have some stability after they're done. You don't want them to be too thin because they'll break real easily. So I basically I start and I just piece out this hand, and I'm actually literally doing this as I show you, so be patient. Now there's a very important part to this, and it's that you kind of run all the fingers together, and I'm going to show you in just a second what I mean by that. But we have learned, those of us that have kind of started making these, learned very quickly that it's hard to try to do each individual finger. Actually, it's quite impossible. So what we've done is actually make it look like this. It actually looks more like a cowboy hat or something. I know, crazy, right? But I promise it's going to make a hand. So that, and then I cut down here to make one of the fingers. And I'll show you what that looks like. That looks just like that. So now it's looking a little bit more like a hand, though not quite, but a little bit. Then without doing anything else, I peel out the surrounding. Don't need that anymore. Now I'm left with this. Still not much of a hand. That's okay, I promise. I'm going to show you what's going to happen. I'm going to take this big chunk right here and fold it down. Those are my two middle fingers. That's what these are right here. I'm going to fold them down. Sure that now I'm left with this. Notice how my sides are still nice and jagged. I'm going to have to push those in with my coffee stirrer here from Starbucks. Push them in, make them a little bit round. We don't want jagged hands. Hold on while I do that real quick. It would have been smart to have some pre-made here, but I figured it would be more fun to show you how to do it yourself, literally. So I'm pushing in my jagged hands, making them a little rounded, kind of like fingertips. My fingers certainly aren't pointy. They're rounded. They're not square. They're not jagged. So now I've done that. I've pointed in all of my sides, but I'm still kind of left with no separation between my fingers. So I'm just going to lay it down on top and just cut through it. Very simple. Not all the way, just a little bit. You guys understand how to make fingers. I mean, really, it's not that hard. Just time consuming. So now I have separation in 5 distinct fingers. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay! I love you hand. Smooth out all his little pieces. Set him down. He dries. Generally it takes 2 days for these things to dry completely, and trust me, you want them to dry completely. If you don't, the paint looks kind of funky. They don't break as well or they break easier because when you paint them, it keeps them moist longer and they never really fully dry, and then they become really brittle and worthless. But anyways, when they dry, it will look something like this. Or see, they're all different, or like this. Or we have some that are skinnier than others. Like they're all going to look different because they're from you and they're all handmade. So, here's our outcome. This is a dry one. I've taken a nail file and I've kind of went around some of the edges that are still a little rough. It's up to you. I'm kind of a perfectionist. Julie would appreciate that. And I go around the edges that are rough. This is dry. So after that, I will pick my paint. Just pretend that I'm doing baby pink. Not hard. I'll paint one side. I'll paint both sides. I'll paint whatever sides. I'll paint all of it. Normally it takes 2 coats, maybe 3 of certain colors. But make sure that you do it after that they're dry for that whole 2 days. You'll be able to tell there's a difference in the color when they dry and then when they're wet. See how this one's a little more brownish grayish and this one's a little more white. This one's wet, this one's dry. Anyways, you'll paint it. It'll come out looking really cute like this in my baby pink color. Isn't it sweet? Now, the important part after this is to go ahead and put the magnet or the pin on before you do anything else. So, after the paint's dry, and normally acrylic paint is the best paint to use because it sticks the best and it dries the fastest. So, I have magnets, I have pins. I simply use a little hot glue gun. Boop, boop, stick on there. We got a magnet, we got a pin. Bam, slam, boom, done. This is on the back, looks like this. There's a magnet on that one. And there's a pin on that one. Very cute, very easy. But a word of warning, do that first. After you've hot glue gunned on that, you're going to take some Mod Podge. Now this I've learned is a very important piece. Mod Podge is going to be your sealer. Without it, your paint's going to chip over time or very easily. If you Mod Podge before the glue, it won't stick. Not very well, because the Mod Podge acts as a gloss finish. So you can either make it look, I don't know if you can tell the difference from looking here, but this is really kind of dry looking. And the other ones that I have over here are a little more shiny. Of course it looks shiny, but they're a little more shiny, a little more vibrant than the ones that are just plainly painted. Also, it keeps the paint from chipping. Nobody wants a chipped I love you hand. So, put on the magnet first, or put on the pin first, and then Mod Podge it after it. Mod Podge the front and the back. Don't Mod Podge over the magnet, but at least around it. And same thing for the pin. And that's it. Then you have an I love you hand. I just get those little baggies that they sell, Ziploc baggies, and I put a hand in there. You don't have to do that. It just kind of looks nice for people. I also have made up these things right here that say thank you for supporting Sign Language Interpreting Program students, class of 2014. I put that inside the bag, just gives the people something to know that they helped out for. And that's it. It's pretty easy. Time consuming, yes, but easy. If you want to make them yourself, that's all you got to do. If you don't, email me. I'll make it myself. Trust me, I have plenty of hands. All I have to do is paint it and send it to you. Have fun. Happy fundraising.